We're going to be creating a landscape painting today. We're going to be using this mountain sunset image as our reference. Please be kind to yourself and try not to get frustrated. Take it slow. If you mess up, no worries. You can always paint over it, right? So try not to get stressed out and just go with it. Know that everyone has their own unique style, and it's okay if yours looks a little bit different from your neighbor or even different from the image. Let's get started. Make sure to start by getting what you need. Your paintbrushes, your palette knife, your paints, of course, paper towels, something to mix your colors in, your canvas, a pencil, and a cup for your water or basin. So you want to start with a really, really nice light sketch of what you have. Don't worry about details, just like the basic forms. And then you're going to start with the sky. So you'll mix up your sky colors. I mixed up a nice light orange and a light coral. And before you start on the sky, coat the sky with a light layer of white paint, and that'll help you blend. While the white paint is still wet on the surface of the sky, go ahead and use your light orange and your light coral to make up the sky, moving your brush back and forth horizontally, really gently working the color into each other. It's okay to leave light streaks. It's okay for it not to be perfect. It's a sky. It's natural. It's okay if yours is different than your neighbor's. Here's what I have for my sky background. I'm going to let this dry a little bit before I add in the clouds. You'll notice the clouds are kind of like a soft bluish purple, and I don't want to mix that in with my orange and my yellow, so I'm going to let it dry a little bit before I add that in. I went ahead and made my sky a little bit more vivid, adding in some more orange and pinks. I let it dry a little bit, and then I started working in the clouds. Just like the sky, it's okay if yours is a little bit different from the image, and if you need to simplify a little bit, you could eliminate the clouds or even choose a simpler color like a light yellow or a light orange instead of the purplish shade. So we're going to be working our way forward. We're going to go ahead and start with the furthest away mountain and work our way towards the viewer. So I used a purplish color. I mixed it with a little bit of white, and I also desaturated it slightly with its complement. As the mountains get closer, I will be adding more detail and getting a little bit more vivid, adding a little bit more purple, and adding a little bit more black to make them pop out a little bit more. Now that I'm at the mountain formation that's closest to the viewer, I'm adding a little bit more texture with my brush strokes. And I also added in just a little bit of green since it's the formation that's closest to you. And so it's kind of like a black bluish green. I didn't like the trees in the photograph, so I found this reference image and decided to reference this instead for my trees. I started my tree by just creating a baseline so I would know where I wanted it to be and just kind of have something to build all of the branches and the texture off of. If you're feeling kind of nervous about this, give it a try on something else, maybe just a piece of paper before you commit to it on your painting. But again, make sure you use a reference, take your time, go slow, practice if you need to. Well, here's my finished result. So my landscape painting, and it's okay that mine looks a little bit different than the original. And I hope that you created something that you felt like you learned a lot from and that you can feel pretty good about at the end. And it's totally fine if yours ended up looking a little bit different from the original, a little bit different from mine, or even your neighbors. I hope you learned a lot and had a good time.